watching. We are getting set up right now. So give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Oh, there you go. Hey, everybody. How are y'all on today? I am so excited to be here with my sister. Hey, this is LHG Critical Conversation. She's up here, and we're doing chapter 3 of my book, The Art of Forgiveness. For
Mm.
those of you that may want to read it with us, you can purchase the book from Amazon. Go to Amazon.com and type in my name, Aquintas Jones, Aquintas. Jones is the last name. So, and y'all could purchase the book. So, my other sister will be up here shortly, but I'm going to let LHG have some words before we get started. I am so excited. Thank you all for coming in. Those of you
On in the room.
TikTok, those of you that are on Super Live, I really appreciate you. Stick with me. I pray that you all will be blessed on today. So, y'all can hear my sister, but you might not see her because she's coming from my StreamYard, which is also on Facebook. But hang out with us, guys. Hang out with us and like and share. Go ahead, LHG.
Hello, everybody. Hello. I'm excited to be here. Thank you, sister, for having me tonight. And congratulations on your book.
Thank
I
you. Thank you.
believe that this is a topic that needs to be discussed over and over until we get it right or until we get it better than what
Yes.
we've done. Because it's layered for many of us.
Yes.
And I'm glad that I have on magnetic lashes. And when I need to take them off, I can just put them over here on the table. And then when I feel better, I'll put them back on because it's layered like that. Many of us are dealing with issues that involve taking a look at, am I forgiven? Am I not forgiven? Why is this thing hurting me the way it's hurting me? I thought I was over this. And
Mm.
you really need to understand that you're going to get tested. You will know when you're over because it's going to get tested, tried and true. You will
Mhm.
know if you've really forgiven. You won't even have to ask yourself, have you? You will know because you'll be responding differently. You'll be feeling differently. You can be in the same room and it not phase you. So if you still getting triggered like I am in some cases, I probably got a little bit more work to do. And this really is for you. And it's for me because I know where I am in my life. And having gone through some things as a child and as an adult, and just now facing the elephant in the room, um yeah, this is definitely a needed conversation. We asking God to do big stuff, enlarge this, take me here, do this. Baby, if you ain't forgiving some people,
That part.
it's probably not on God's agenda to elevate you until you are able to wrap your mind around the concept of forgiving. And that could even be forgiving yourself. You're a
Right.
person worthy of forgiveness as well. But if you want the Lord to, sorry about my puppy is going through something, y'all. Y'all pray for him. But if you want the Lord to forgive you, we got work to do. And it took somebody else to take me there. I'm like, oh, I can't even get to the gate without forgiving somebody. Oh, Jesus, y'all don't know what they did to me.
Right.
Don't even matter. Don't even matter. Don't even matter. So this is going to be a great show. So y'all sit back, get your beverage and chill, chime in. Thank you for being in the chat. You may want to share this on
Yes.
your
Like and
social
share
media
on today.
platforms, like, share. We also would love for you to subscribe to Trailblazers Radio.
Yes.
Help us to reach our 100 subscribers. And
Mm-hmm.
just sit back and let this book be a blessing. You may want to get your own copy, use it for your women's groups, your conferences, because this particular subject needs to be discussed by all. Thank you, Keisha. Thank you for sharing. We
Yes.
need to let some things go. Let it
Thank you
go.
all for joining me. Thank you.
Yes, let it go, honey. Frozen. Prophetess Elsa wrote a song called Let It Go.
Yes, we do need to let some things go.
And that's a spiritual song to me. You may think it's
Mm-hmm.
funny, it's just a cartoon, but that prophetess Elsa from Disney, Tabernacle of Praise, baby. When she said let it go, she was talking to me and to several generations before me.
Mm-hmm.
Let that thing go. And how you do that? Forgive.
Right.
You
That's right.
gotta forgive.
You have to forgive. And first, you got to forgive yourself
Let's
and
start there.
recognize that it's
Yes.
not your fault. Whatever has happened to you, realize
Jesus.
that in the beginning of your life, you have no control. While
Jesus.
you're a child, you have no control. At the end, when you're about to expire, you
Mhm.
have no control. But
Right.
everything that else that happens in the middle, you
Mhm.
have control over. Okay?
Yes.
So you don't have to hold on to anything. You don't have to feel like all that other stuff is your fault. You don't have to walk in your why me's because God has already forgiven you. So forgive yourself.
Yes.
But we're dealing with, okay, so you shut down. So you're going to stay down. We're dealing with chapter 3.
Chapter 3,
Um,
y'all.
chapter 3 of my book. And I put, I titled this The Jezebel Spirit.
Ooh, well,
And
all
I
right
titled
then.
it Jezebel Spirit because a lot of people don't understand that the Jezebel spirit is a lot
Leave
like
it alone.
the narcissistic spirit.
Wow.
And a lot of us go through a lot of things when it comes to domestic violence, when it comes to control, when it comes to manipulation. And that may be at home, in the church, wherever it is. Hey, Simone. And it's so important for us to recognize what this is and realize that it's not just sexual. So, we're going to read this, and this is what is the Jezebel spirit. And I came from Revelations chapter 2, 19 through 22. And it says, I know your works, love, service, faith, and your patience. And as for your works, the last are more than the first. Nevertheless, I have a few things against you, because you allow that woman Jezebel, who calls herself a prophetess, to teach and seduce my servants to commit sexual immorality and eat things sacrificed to idols. And I gave her time to repent for her sexual immorality, and she did not repent. Indeed, I will cast her into a sick bed, and those who commit adultery with her into great tribulations, unless they repent of their deeds. Let's break this down, because when we're dealing with adultery, anything that you're prioritizing over God is a form of adultery.
Wow.
Okay? So if that, you're attached to that man, you're attached to that. I mean, of course you love your child, but you don't treat that child like a god to the point where you won't discipline that child. That
Right.
child is controlling you, that child is manipulating you. Or we got these different idols and stuff
Yeah.
that we're calling our gods and stuff like that. So I just want to give you a full understanding. And he said, unless they repent. Okay. Repentance is in order
Yes, ma'am.
of their deeds. This is key to breaking free from
Mm.
the spiritual force that seeks to seduce you. Some of us are with narcissistic spirits.
Mhm.
We're with Jezebel spirits, and they come across so sweet.
Yes, and subtle.
Yes,
Mhm.
until they get you.
Wow.
And once they get you, now they're out to kill and to destroy the message of Jesus in God's kingdom. They're trying to tear you down. They're trying to tear Jesus down. They
Mm.
want to be in full control
Wow.
over you, to the
Wow.
point where all you see is them. You can't get past them. They're lying to you. So they change, they manipulate your mind to the point where it's like nobody else don't want me.
Wow.
I'm not good enough. to go out there. I can't leave him. Who's going to want me? I got 3 kids. I'm a single parent. I'm
Yeah.
struggling. Listen, you
Wow.
are fearfully and wonderfully
We
made.
made.
And there is somebody
Oh, yes, it
who
is.
love you
Oh, yes, it
for
is.
you and your children.
Yes.
So it's so important for us to understand about the Jezebel and the narcissistic spirit,
Mm.
because it plays a part when it comes to us. Is my children gonna forgive me? Do
Mm.
I deserve that? Am I deserving? Am I worthy?
Mm-hmm.
You got to forgive you for speaking all that negativity into you. Because, yes, you are God's masterpiece.
Come on.
You are deserving. You are his child. You are an heir of God. So, yes, you are more than deserving.
Wow.
And you deserve better than being in a toxic
Oh,
relationship.
yes, we do deserve better.
And a relationship, and I'm not just talking about intimate relationship with a significant other. That could be if your pastor or your leader is abusing you and manipulating you and throwing that title at you, baby, it's time for you to think about it. Are you supposed to be there, or did your time run out? Let's think about this. I really, really, because some of us are dealing with that now. I've been through it. And I was like, I'm in a debate because it's hard, especially when you're a leader in the church, or you're like, should this be my friend? We've been friends since childhood. But what are they bringing to the table? What are you getting out of it? Is it a one sided relationship?
Wow.
Is it beneficial to you? Write in your comment and let me know what you want to talk about. And if you are talking about the same thing, I'll bring you up here if you have a comment. But if you just want to come up here, I'm not accepting anybody up here at this time. So um I'm gonna stop for a second and see if LHG has any comments.
I want to address Simone's question.
Uh-huh.
He's asking you, are idolatry and adultery the same?
No,
Okay.
they are not. Idolatry is serving other gods. You might look at a statue and that might be your god. You're worshiping other gods. Adultery is more when you're married
Mm-hmm.
and you go outside of that marriage.
Mm-hmm.
But certain things you don't want to take literal, and this is why I referenced when you're prioritizing above, because sometimes in your marriage you might not have committed the act, but you prioritize certain things
Mm-hmm.
above your household.
Absolutely. That's true.
So for example, an addict, they want the drug before they want to take care of home.
Right. That's true.
So it's a form of adultery.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to, realize, what are you putting before? Because there's an order, and
Yes.
it's God, it's your husband, it's the wife, it's the children, and
Mm-hmm.
then everything else.
Right.
So what's going in front of? What are you prioritizing first?
Right. I think that's important because, especially for us as women or just people in general, um, we're so quick to take on things that really aren't our assignment, don't even
Mhm.
need to involve us. We may see, oh, I think I can do that. Well, you might probably could, but that's not for you right now. What else is
Exactly.
happening in your life that needs your attention right
That's
now? And at times, I'm just going to put myself out here and be
mhm.
transparent. Early on in my marriage, being, and I'm still, I consider myself a newlywed, under 5 years. But
Yes.
early on, before I started getting a little bit of a rhythm in my marriage, I always was a workaholic. I was the person that cut the lights on, cut the lights off, no breaks, no lunches, because I was kind of used to seeing that in my own mother. She
Mm-hmm.
was a worker bee. And in some cases, as African American women, we have to do more than our counterparts, because we need to prove that we should have a seat at the table,
That's right.
where our other counterparts that don't look like us can do half a job and still get promotions. But for us at times, it's like we have to go twice as hard to get the basics. There's still racism out there. Don't We've overcome some things, but some things we ain't came over quite yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when you think that the best thing you do is your work, when you think, oh, work is where I feel accomplished, work is where I
Right.
feel, good about myself, my confidence, you will begin to put all your effort into that, because maybe you don't think you are the best in marriage or the best in other areas. So I'm like, okay, you asked for a husband, LHG. The Lord gave you that, but you still burning the midnight oil because I hadn't prioritized right. I was
Exactly.
accustomed to doing that grind,
Mm-hmm.
12, 14-hour day grind. That's
Mm-hmm.
all I knew.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've asked God to give you a companion, you're a
Mm-hmm.
whole wife now, you got to make room for this thing, LHG.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's right.
just acting like you ain't grateful.
Mm-hmm.
Because and he's gonna be like, you said you was coming home at 6, it's now 8:30.
Right.
Going on?
Mm-hmm.
Because I hadn't shifted my priorities.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't for a long time because I'm like, but I want to be the best at this. I want to be in line for being elevated. I wanna, but you can trust God for that and still keep your priorities right.
That's right.
Because for you to be elevated or promoted, it will
Mm-hmm.
happen.
That's
But
right.
that whole grinding ourselves into stress and anxiety and high blood pressure, that's
Mm-hmm.
not of God.
That's right.
You go home and give that man a damaged wife,
Mm-hmm.
a frustrated wife,
That's right.
overworked, burnt out wife.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to take a toll on the marriage you just asked for.
That's right.
So that priority thing is huge and it's so subtle. When
Mm-hmm.
you get it out of whack and it happens so subtly, you'll
That's right.
find yourself allocating the time to the wrong stuff and wonder
Mm-hmm.
why things are falling apart.
Right.
So that priority part is what stuck out with me because you have to think about, where does my time need to go?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's equal and it's fair for everybody involved, including you, yourself.
That's right.
You need to give yourself time
Mm-hmm.
because we give everybody else, it's only 24 hours in a day. 8 of those
Mm-hmm.
should be sleeping. And you got other things to be doing besides work.
That's right.
So if you're giving all your waking hours to work and when you get home, it's time to go to bed, that is not a good life.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't scream abundant life to me.
No. No. It
It's
has to be a
what I
balance.
do now. No, there, right. That's a good word right there.
Mm-hmm. And
Balance.
and that screams, I'm existing, but I'm not living. I have no life outside of work, but I have a husband, but I have a child. I have to have time for God because without him I cease to exist. But I don't
Yes.
even have time for God
Woo.
because work is my priority.
And
Work
my
became
idol
my
at this point,
husband.
it's become an
Right. It's
idol.
become my idol. That's what I worship because I have
Woo.
to make this money, but I
Yes.
haven't balanced. I haven't walked in unity. The job is basically, the job has manipulated me into
Yes.
thinking this is all I need. But
Right.
my husband is here to
Yes.
assist me,
Come
and
on.
I won't allow him because I
Speak.
want to be the breadwinner. I want to be the dominant one. I want to be in control.
Mm-hmm.
This is my priority. And
Right.
do you hear the selfishness? in that.
Mm-hmm.
Not that he don't need you, because he needs you. But this is my priority. So now we're walking out of order. And what does the enemy does? What does the Jezebel spirit do? Come in and bring confusion and separates the household.
Wow.
He's able to bring division. He's
Yep.
able to destroy. He's able to bring, like I said, confusion. And now there's arguments. Why?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
this thing right here became my husband.
Come
My
on.
job became my husband.
Woo
I
wee.
committed a spiritual adultery because my job is my husband. I don't have time for him. And then I'm too
Woo
tired when he wants to get intimate.
wee.
I'm too tired. I worked all day. When he asks you for a meal, I can't cook. I can't. The house is getting out of order. Why? Because all of my time was over here.
Right.
All of
Wow.
my time went to this. Hey, Coco.
Hey,
Thanks
sis.
for joining, guys. So we're dealing with chapter 3 of the Art of Forgiveness, and we're talking about the Jezebel and the narcissistic spirit. So once again, the Jezebel spirit comes to prey on our emotions. It comes to control, dictate, and manipulate. Most narcissists are not in tune with themselves.
Nope.
So they seek for control over other people or other areas, which would be to control an unknowledgeable person. Because most of the time, we don't recognize when the narcissistic spirit is coming because they come across real sweet,
Mhm.
charming, like they your friend, but they're not.
Mhm.
Um, or they bring about division that we just talked about and distraction, and it comes to destroy churches, families,
Mm.
people, and God's prophets.
Wow.
You must operate under the anointing and with the spirit of discernment in order to recognize it. This spirit. The power tripping spirit comes across as loving and charming. It also will befriend you to get its way, and then it will betray or seek to destroy you. The
Mm.
spirit, just like the narcissistic abuser, will use words and language in manipulative ways. For example, an abuser tears down one's self esteem by making you think nobody else wants you, which we talked about,
Right.
or you cannot be loved by anyone else. The
Mm.
spirit seeks to damage one's mental health and keep the person secluded.
Wow.
So, this type of misconduct damages, alters, or otherwise controls their partners or an individual's mindset. It also seeks to tear down the intellectual and emotional part of the individual. It can cause the individual to start to believe the lies that they are being told. So, um, in the past, we talked about labels.
Mm-hmm.
You're not good enough. You
Mm.
start to respond to that. You start to answer to that. You're not loved. You start to think that you're never going to be anything. Um, you're nobody's ever going to want you. They come across like that once they get you.
Right.
But before that, you everything to them. While they're trying to get you, you're everything.
Mm-hmm.
They're so loving. They sending you flowers. They're charming. Whoo. And then
Once
it all
they get you,
goes
they turn on you.
exactly.
Wow.
Coco.
She's showing them natural curls in here.
Yes.
I like that curly Q. I like that.
Thank you.
Join us, Coco. Join us. Tell us what you got to say about what you just heard.
Um, well, um,
I love her.
again, most of the time, she is correct that you don't know you dealing with a narcissistic person until it's too late. Um, because they will come at you in the form of what you thought you was looking for
That's
or
right.
what you had a void of. And then once they feel like they have gotten into where they need to get into or fit in with you, that's when you see the true colors come out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it can happen in all forms of relationship, not just marriages, not just church, but any type of relationship.
That's right.
I mean,
And that's Simone's question. What about your friend?
it goes back to what we was talking about when we talked about what about your friends,
Mm-hmm.
because you do have those friends that will befriend you with ill intent,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't know that that's what they're doing until later
Right.
on down the line.
Right.
It goes back to what some of the old folks used to tell us back in the day, and we need to keep in mind that once a person show you who they are, believe it.
Please
Yeah.
believe them.
Stop saying, "Oh, y'all know how some of us do.
Mm-mm.
Oh, they didn't mean it. Yes, they did.
Yes, they
Yes,
did.
they did.
Yes, they
Yes,
did.
they did. They meant it.
Mm-hmm.
All of
Oh, oh, that's just not them. Yes, it was.
All the way.
Yes, it was. And
Mm-hmm.
you do that because you try to shield yourself
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
from what you know you saw.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And so instead of dealing with what you saw, you their intel make excuses for what you saw.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And that's how a lot of domestic situations happen.
Okay.
You saw all the red flags, but you ignored every last one of them
Mm-hmm.
Big comforters.
because you
Woo.
were, oh, I can fix him or her. No, you can't. No, you can't.
No.
Because this is the thing. Nobody has the power to change somebody else. The
Nobody.
individual that you're dealing with has to want to change themselves.
Yes, Coco.
So where you feel like, oh, I can change him or her, I need you to stop saying that. Because all you're doing is you setting yourself up for failure.
Yes.
And if a person tell you that they change because of you or for you, that's not
Not
good either.
lying.
And I'm gonna tell you why it's not good. Because if they did it just to appease you, there was never a real change. They did it because they felt like, well, if I don't change, I'm gonna lose said individual.
Right.
Okay. So that means as soon as they get over you, they're gonna change for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So you have to want to change for you so that when you encounter people,
Mm-hmm.
you're dealing with the real you.
That's right.
You can't walk around all your life being a chameleon.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? If anybody knows what a chameleon does, it changes its colors whenever it gets around whatever it's around.
It becomes
Mm-hmm.
And
that.
that's a defense mechanism
It is.
for a chameleon. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so you don't want to feel like that you're dealing with somebody that got a chameleon spirit. Every time you're around other people, you switch up. You somebody different because you're trying to appease them. You're
Wow.
trying to appease this group of people. You're trying to appease the person that you got home in your house. You're trying to appease this person over here, and you somebody different with everybody. Just be
It
you.
sounds exhausting too.
It is.
Yes.
It's a lot of work to pretend to be something that you're not.
Gee,
Mm-hmm.
But you got people that do it all the time.
that's too much.
And at the end of the day, at some point in time, the real you gonna show up.
It sure
And
will.
when it does, it's gonna show up with the wrong person.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
The
wee.
one that you don't want to see. Instead of you just being who you were from the jump,
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't have to deal with all that.
That's right.
And so that's another thing that a narcissist does. They play the role real well.
Yes, they do.
And so you got to understand that that's what they are. They playing a role with you.
Mm-hmm.
They play a role with everybody they meet.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's probably three, four yous, and you just don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Ooh.
think you the only one, but you ain't the only one being played by them.
That's right.
Mm.
You just the one that's more. You're the most gullible though,
Yes.
Come on
and
here.
so you have to understand that a narcissistic individual, they deal with the people that are real gullible.
Mm-hmm.
very vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
People that show their vulnerabilities, oh, they
Mm-hmm.
like you.
Yes.
Yes.
You the one they seek after.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. They
Oh,
smell y'all coming. They
right. Let them overhear a conversation and you showing your vulnerabilities in the
see.
conversation. Oh, they gonna play on it.
Yes.
Oh,
Wow.
you just gave them ammo.
Mm-hmm.
Because now all I gotta do is remember, oh, she said that she needed this. Oh, she said that
Mm-hmm.
she had a lack of that. Oh, she said that she was not getting this at home. So
Mm-hmm.
let me be all three of them things that she lacking right now.
That's right.
Right. It's very cult like.
Right. And so what you have to do is that's the reason why I always tell people when you start relationships with people, you don't give them ammo in
Ooh.
the beginning of the relationship.
And I was
You
getting ready to
know,
say that.
you know how you had conversations with people when you start in a relationship
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and you like to talk. You
Mm-hmm.
don't tell them about the past relationship before
Exactly.
you don't do that because when you do that, what they're gonna try to do is they're gonna try to be the opposite of what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, they
That's
will.
right.
Just long enough until they feel like, okay, I got her where I want her now.
Right.
That's
And
right.
then just as soon as they feel like they do the same crap the first one did.
Oh, that is
Mm-hmm.
so true.
And so you have to realize that you give people the ammo to use against you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I tell you that because you don't know how to shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, come
There are certain
on.
times where you have to know what to say. You gotta know
Right.
when to say some things and you gotta know when to keep your mouth shut.
Come
That's
on.
And
because
that's in everything that you do. You don't let out everything. You don't first of all, we always have heard that you don't put all your eggs in one
One
basket,
that's
basket.
right.
That's right.
right? And so it's just like when you meet somebody, you don't tell them everything.
That's right.
They know some things about you, but they don't know everything
Mm-mm.
Wow.
because they don't want to get the side of you that they don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
You catch what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So at the end of the day, you don't give people ammo to feed. That's the reason why I tell you that the enemy got ammo against you because you don't know who you are.
That's right.
You don't know you don't even know what you possess.
Mm-hmm.
But he does. That's the reason why he can use it
Mm-hmm.
because you don't know it.
That's right.
And it's the same thing a narcissist does.
Mm-hmm.
They in their brain, you'll never decide to be, to love yourself. You'll never decide to have good self-esteem about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never decide to stop being insecure.
That's
And so
right.
they play on all of these things. The things that are your weaknesses is what they play on.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
But they come to
Right.
you in the form of the person that's let me make this better for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be your knight in shining armor when you hell
Yes.
on wheels.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You
And take
hell on
all the
wheels and
glory for
get this
themselves. It's about me.
right.
I
That's
You
made it.
know, right. And
Woo.
so a person to come to you in the form, I'm gonna just use a famous person, celebrity, person to come to you in the form of genuine,
Mm.
all nice and wrapped up, and you think he is the finest thing walking on 2 feet.
Hmm.
And little do you know, he is hell on wheels
Mm-hmm.
behind closed doors.
That's right.
I've seen it. I've seen girls go out with dude fine as wine, but
Mm-hmm.
they something. They some mean little buggers, and they like to beat people.
That's right.
You know, the girls won't telling nobody that he beat me every day.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Girls won't telling nobody that he calls me out my name every day. He tell
Jesus.
me I'm not good enough. He tell me I won't never be this, and he tell all of these things behind closed doors. But when
Mm-hmm.
y'all out in front of people, he love on you like nobody's business.
That's right.
That's a
That's
narcissist.
Woo.
right. Hmm. So let me read you the characteristics of the narcissist. And look, I'm going to jump around this book only because we done touched on a lot of things that's already written in the book. So if you want the book, you can go to Amazon and get the book. But while Coco was talking, the characteristics of the Jezebel and the narcissistic spirit, it comes to deceive, manipulate, control.
Mhm.
It brings about insubordination, feigned repentance, and sexual immorality and prideful.
Okay.
Okay. So, and a lot of times it's the closest thing to
To
you.
you.
Wow.
And
This is what you gotta understand. If a person really, really love you, would they ask you to compromise yourself for them?
No.
will
And a
not.
lot of times, a lot of people fall for that. If you got a husband, your husband would ask you to have a threesome with him and somebody else.
Mm, mm,
Or
mm.
wouldn't.
That's a compromise.
It
Same thing with the wife. She ain't
hmm
gonna ask you to bring nobody else into y'all bedroom.
Mm-mm.
That's right.
If you with somebody that does that, baby, that ain't love.
It's not.
And that ain't right, first of all. Because if you married, ain't nobody else supposed to be in your bed.
Mm-mm. You're gonna stay in the clinic.
So it's just like you have the art of forgiveness, Keisha. So you gotta understand that you are not supposed to be that way. You do not compromise yourself for nobody.
Yeah,
Nobody
Especially nobody that claimed that they love you so much.
shouldn't
that's
even
right.
want you to do that. Absolutely.
Hmm
Wow. What's
That's right.
funny about narcissistic people, and I'm gonna be honest, I was never comfortable with that word. I didn't understand it until we got a certain president, and that made me go and kind of dig into that word a little bit more. But what I've learned about those people is they're frauds.
Hmm.
They're not what they even appear to be. They put on this facade of being so everything. Oh, I got it. Oh, I am the be all end all. You can trust in me. But behind that is a scared little pound puppy.
Yep.
They're not what they even say they are.
Nope.
They're some of the biggest liars,
hmm
and they put on this facade. Oh, I got tough skin, and yeah, they thugged out. But say boo, one good time, and that pound puppy mentality come right on out.
hmm
I've learned that, and
hmm
I've learned how to see through some of that stuff.
Yep.
But
And
They
this
that's
is
the
don't like
thing.
me.
Once
I
you
call them
start
out.
seeing through it, once you start seeing through it, that's where the switch up
Yes.
exactly.
happens. And so
Exactly.
you gotta be careful though, because you
hmm
got some narcissists when you do figure it out,
Hmm.
their switch up turns violent.
Oh,
Yes.
I've seen that for
And
sure.
so you have to be
Sure.
careful in some situations where
Be
even
armored
if
up.
you do right, you gotta if you call it out,
Be
you gotta
armored
be
up.
ready because some of
Yep.
them just blow up and it just turn
Because
violent.
you blew their cover.
Right.
You've
And
been
Because now you
on
know.
this game all of this time.
Right.
right.
You showing them that there's a lady behind the corner, Millie Vanilli.
Right.
That's
You
right.
wasn't even singing Millie and Vanilli.
Yep.
hmm
It was
And
this
then
was
you
the
have
one here voice that you heard.
Right.
right. And then you have the ones where when you call them out or you don't give them their time because you recognized it. So now everything don't deserve my response.
Right.
Now they don't know what to do because their goal was to tear you down. So now it's like, I don't want her around me.
Hmm.
You
Mm-mm.
a threat at this point. Once you've
You are
blown
a
the
threat
cover,
because
And then
you
it
now
just
a threat.
but see
obtain
then
knowledge.
you also got the ones that if they don't turn violent or they don't see you as a threat, this is the other ploy they use. Now that you done found them out, well, I'm gonna do something to myself. Go do it.
Exactly. That's that
Ooh,
You
manipulation.
go do it. Yeah, I'm gonna harm myself. You got
Lord, Lord, Lord.
if you
And
don't
then
want me,
like,
I'm gonna harm myself.
can I
Okay,
give
go do
you
it.
something to help you? Cause
Jesus.
it's
Go
a
do
bridge
it.
down the street. You want me to
Wow.
drive you to it?
Right.
And
Listen.
that's sad for someone to use that because
hmm
people who have hearts like us, looking
And
like,
they'll
what's
do
wrong with
it.
you? That's so wrong.
But
I've
they
had
will
that
do it.
done to me.
A
That's
lot
so
of times
wrong.
you
Out the
got to
TV.
that's the main ploy that's used is they'll tell
Ooh,
you that they're going to harm themselves to try to make you feel bad to
To stay.
say to
the
stay.
guilt trip.
Mhm.
Yes.
Right.
And so that's the main ploy that's really used.
hmm
The violent one comes after they have tried that main ploy 1,000 times and
Hmm.
you just through with it now.
Right.
Wow.
And then that's when they all of a sudden now you want to turn into Mike Tyson.
hmm
Okay, we now you
Woo.
don't understand what you want to do with it. So because I know and I'm through with it, now
hmm
you want to feel like you can start knocking me around. No, it's
hmm
not happening.
Right.
Not
Exactly.
happening. And so you still
Wow.
have to be careful to assess the situation,
hmm
Yes.
right? So you have to assess the situation with a narcissist because if you
hmm
don't, it can turn fatal. because
So
I
does
for
that mean that sometimes they don't need to know that you know?
no,
No,
Just govern yourself
just
accordingly.
that's
govern
right.
yourself and make preparation, because the enemy is always planning. He's planning on how what his next move is, how he's going to destroy you, how he's going to knock you off your game. If he know your game is work, he might take your car so
Wow.
you can't get to work. You know, he how am I gonna get her off track? He's
Yeah.
always trying to bring a distraction. So
Yes.
you always have to be one step ahead of him. What's
Wow.
my next plan? How am I going to get out of here? Am I going to put money in my car and make sure it's there so when he leaves out, I'll be able to go? Am I going to have all my IDs, my purse, my kids, everything already packed up? So then when he leaves out, am I going to call in some security so I can get up out of here? Am I already paying on another place? So when he gone, I'm already set up. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a plan to get away from him. And like I was saying, when Coco brought up, that manipulative spirit, when they're
Yeah.
talking about, okay, I'm going to off myself. I had somebody do that to me. I was 15.
Lord have
You know
mercy.
what I did? I called the ambulance and his grandmother. And that still ain't get me to stay. I got to go.
Wow.
Go ahead, do what you got to do.
Wow.
It's time to go.
Time to go. Lord
So
have
you
mercy.
have to get the strength, and it takes strength
Mm-hmm.
for you to get away from them because they are draining and they make you feel like, what is my worth?
Wow.
Should I even be here? You start to believe that stuff because they say it enough.
Manipulation and deception.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wow.
So
The
it's so
biggest
important.
ploys.
Go ahead, Coco.
Oh, I was just saying that's the biggest ploys with them.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Manipulation and the deception are the two biggest things.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Wow.
like I said, they lie from the beginning.
Right.
Wow.
And it's not the lie told later. That you have been lied to from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But what hurts is some of these people are your family.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
I think the closer the relationship is to you, the
Mm-hmm.
more it hurts and the harder it is
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
to make the necessary steps to free yourself of them because
yeah,
they will begin to use, well, I'm your mama.
That's
yeah,
right.
Yeah,
yep,
Yeah.
I'm aware. I'm aware.
yeah.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I'm very aware.
I have
However,
a friend, I have a friend of mine, her mom does that to her all the time. She uses the fact that she's sick against her all the time.
ooh, that's so
Even in the
wrong.
church, the leaders. I'm the apostle in the Lord's church. I am the pastor. But you come across and realize hurt people hurt people. Most
Yes.
of these people are not healed and
Yep,
they've been through something.
Mm,
So now they are projecting it on you.
yeah.
yep.
Yep. That's exactly what they've done.
So it becomes like, okay, well, who can I trust?
Yep.
This is supposed to be my leader. I'm going to church. This is supposed to be where I get refuge. This
Yes.
is my peace. I'm coming because I need to lay some stuff down. I got to put some stuff at the altar, but I don't even want to be in the ministry because the leader is not right. She
Right.
coming in bringing chaos. She
Wow.
coming in unorganized. The service is never starting on time unless I start it. Like,
It's not even just that. When you got whole leaders that ask you to compromise yourself,
exactly.
and that's what you're supposed to be. You're
Say it
supposed
for
to
the
be
people
a
in the back.
leader. You're supposed to be a leader, but you asking me to go out with him and him, but
Wow.
Right.
I got him at home.
Wow.
Now,
Exactly.
at the end of the day, if you a leader and you got hoish tendencies, keep that to yourself because I'm not one of them.
That to yourself, please.
And so,
Exactly.
like, you know what I'm saying? And I have been around that before.
Mm-hmm.
And when you ask the leader to explain themselves, their whole thing was, you ain't nobody that I got to explain nothing to. You just supposed to listen. Baby, you got the wrong one.
Exactly.
Wow.
You got the wrong one because I don't submit to foolishness and it ain't even
Exactly.
going down. So everybody else can follow suit, but not this
Wow.
Right. And
one. And so,
if you're not following God, I'm not following
yeah,
you.
like
Period.
You leading
can't.
me straight to hell? I
I
don't think
Period.
can't.
so.
Point blank.
Yeah, but I've seen it. I've seen it in so many different ministries. And the thing about it is I thank God because I thank God because a lot of ministry has been what not to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Versus what to do.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so um the thing of it is when you are in leadership, and the thing that I need people to catch is when you decide to become a leader,
Mm-hmm.
your lifestyle is supposed to be different.
You would.
And
Yes.
you have to understand
Definitely.
that you are standing out. And
Yes.
your life is what's going to be shown. And so,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
if you're not ready to do that and put your life on display,
Don't
That's
then
do
right.
it.
leadership may
Step
not be
back.
for you right now. You know what
Step
I'm
back.
saying? And so you have to get people to the point where they can understand that. And so it's just like with all of these people running to go chase titles or whatever, I need you to understand after you get the title, your life is on display. So all that foolishness that you're doing right now don't have to cease. Now that you want to be the apostle and the prophet so bad, you,
Right.
Wow.
you can't rip around and do what you're doing now and run around with that title in front of your name. And
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
it's just like when we had the situation of and I'll bring it up because I'm sure she don't mind. When we had the situation of my sister and her wonderful dress that she wore in her pictures, everybody decided that they wanted to come to me because it's like, oh well, I thought she's supposed to be a leader. She is a leader, but Quint gonna do what she want.
That's right.
So you coming to me? Why? The same way you came to me, you could have went to
Put on
her.
her.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like at the end of the day, well, you're guilty by association. Look, let's not talk about the people you associated with.
Hello.
Ooh.
So, when I said that, ain't nobody say nothing else. Because at the end of the day, it's no guilty by association. She gonna be who she gonna
She's
be
an
at
adult.
the end of the day.
Exactly.
Did you see me with the dress on? Okay.
Right.
So you calling me to tell me what?
See,
No. So that's like the whole thing of
being
is
messy.
you trying to call me to tell me about her like I didn't know.
Being messy.
Right. But you doing it like I didn't know. And
I
that's
don't
the
like that.
biggest part is that people, well, did you see that? Oh my God, that's so disrespectful to you. How? How? Please tell me how is it disrespectful to me? First
Right.
of all, I'm her sister. I'm not her leader,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not disrespectful to me.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, it's just like, okay, well, I mean, if it will be different if I was her leader, because
Okay.
then it's a whole nother thing. What you do is a reflection over here.
Right.
That's
Mm-hmm.
not it. That's not the case. That's not the situation. And
Mm-hmm.
so where people get stuff twisted, you got first of all, mind your business. That's the first thing.
We'll start there.
Learn how to mind your business.
Foundation.
And
Level one.
if you have a issue, take the issue up with the
To
individual
them.
you got the issue with.
That's
Yes.
right.
That's the big thing. And so it goes hand in hand because when a lot of narcissistic situations come, they come because if they did not get their ammo about you from you, they got it from somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh-wee.
That's right.
They got it from somebody that you associated with.
Mm-hmm.
Because this person is just telling them your business.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so now they come to you because they know what to play on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what
Mm.
they do. So a lot of narcissistic situations don't have to start from you. It can
Not
stem
at
from
all.
people because they don't know how to mind their business.
But this
Woo.
is the thing too. What we have to realize, even though you go through with these people, the battle still don't belong to you.
Right.
Revenge is not for you to go after.
Right.
Talking about them is not for you to do.
No.
Because guess what? And tearing them down is not for you to do either. Because vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, and I will repay them. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you and say all manner of evil against you falsely, for great is your reward.
Mhm.
So, as you're going through all of this, and as much as you don't want to hear it, everything has a purpose,
It does.
everything has a reason. If it did not kill you, it made you stronger. It showed you what not to do.
Jesus.
It matured you. It caused you to help somebody else to
My
come
Lord.
out of what they're going through.
My Lord.
So it was all for a purpose. So yes, this stuff is real, and yes, it hurts. but it has a purpose. And then it's like, if you keep attracting the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
start to look at yourself and evaluate.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Why do you keep attracting the exact same thing? You attract needy people. I just have to help them. Why? Why can't you go after somebody that's already established? He not living with his mama. He got his own car. He got a
Woo.
job. He got balance in his life. He's healthy. But you attract people that he not only sleeping with you, but he's sleeping with her. He beating you and her at the same time.
My
And
Lord.
this is what you, oh, I got to give him some, oh, I'm gonna take him out to dinner. It's okay sometime for you to take him out to dinner, but when do he take you out to dinner?
When?
When do he make you feel special? Like
Lord mercy.
Not even that. Let's just go with the one that don't even take you out in public.
oh,
Ooh, don't post about me.
That every
Don't show me on your page.
don't
None of that.
everything you do is done behind closed doors with them. They never
Ooh,
take you out in public.
scandalous.
It's like you a well kept secret.
yeah,
Shoo.
well
And
kept.
most of the time there's a reason as to why.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're the well kept and beat up on side chick,
Mm-hmm. And
and
the
the
wife
wife
is
is
here.
at home. And so
Mm-hmm.
you have to be careful with that too. If you with somebody that never takes you out in public, don't never want to take pictures with you, none of that, you need to question why.
Exactly.
And it ain't because I just don't. No,
Mm-hmm.
there's a reason why they
That's
don't.
right.
And then you
That's right.
sneak and take a photo, and you so mad because it got out. Don't post me. Don't post that. I don't
Hmm.
want anybody to know. Why not, my dear?
Hmm.
Why not? If we
Yes,
kicking it on that level,
that's
okay.
it.
If we kicking it on that level,
Hmm.
why can't we post our pictures of date night? Why I gotta pull that down, Boo Boo Kitty? Why I gotta
Right,
pull that down?
right.
That's right.
And then on top of that, I'm gonna give you a prime example. There's a lady just recently, she was blasted all over the news because she had been married to this man for 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
She knew him by one name, but that was not that man's name.
Ooh wee,
But she been married to him for 18 whole years.
ooh
Yeah.
wee.
Got kids by the man. They done built businesses together and all of this good stuff. When the FBI showed up at her front
Not the
door,
Coco, the FBI girl.
when the FBI showed up at her front door and said, "We are here to speak to such and such," she said, "I don't know nobody by that name." They said, "Yes, you do.
Ooh,
It's your husband." And then she said, "That's not my husband's name." She said, he said, "Well, let me show you." He pulled out a whole nother ID with his
no,
name, with his real name on the front, birth certificate and all, and said, "This is the man that you married.
Mm,
that
We've
is a
been
scandal.
searching for him for the last 20 something years."
mm,
Fugitive,
And
mm,
so not only did she marry somebody that she did not know, but she was married to a whole fugitive.
a
mm,
whole
mm,
fugitive.
And
mm,
so, at that 1 minute, her life got turned upside down. Everything she knew for the last 18 years just went
mm,
from
mm, mm.
I
it
can't
just,
even imagine.
you know what I mean? And so you have to understand that sometimes when you think you know somebody, you may not
You
know what
don't.
you think you know.
That's right.
You
And
don't.
That's
so, like I said, she was with this man 18 whole years.
right.
Ooh,
Hmm.
Got 4 whole kids by him. They
Wow.
done started businesses. He a whole physician and all this stuff to her.
no.
But to FBI, oh, you a murderer. You this, and this. He
Wow.
didn't even know who she married.
Mm, mm, mm.
And so you got to understand that her world just blew up in her face.
I'm sure.
And so again, it goes back to say, stop saying I know them because you don't.
That's
May
right.
not, you may not
Stop
know him.
saying that you think you know because you don't.
That's right.
Wow.
There are parts of people that you think you know that you really don't know.
Right.
And so
That's right.
you have to understand that you cannot say that. You know of people.
Hmm.
Start with that. I know of them.
And
That's
even
what
Exactly.
you
the
have to
dating,
say.
you need to be asking the Lord to reveal some things. When you date people, they present to you what they feel you want to see.
That's
That's
right.
it.
Like Coco said, if you've given them your history of having a certain kind of dude, they're going to pretend to be exactly what you want.
Yep.
Mhm.
The knight in shining armor is here to rescue you into the
Yep.
the
That's right.
sunset.
Yep.
Mhm.
Knight in shining armor just to
That's
get
right.
you what they want. But the problem becomes if you gotta know they're not gonna always reveal to you who they really are.
Nope.
Mhm.
You need the Holy Spirit. You need to ask many questions. If they can't stand you asking questions,
Yep.
chances are they got some ulterior motives or ulterior lifestyles. And
That's right.
and some guys just tell me that you just talk too much. You ask too many questions. I said, well,
Yep.
then you ain't the one.
Right.
Because
You
I
don't
could
know
I
me.
could be the first one to tell you that I was with a dude that had a whole family. How
Oh,
I found how I found out is one night I decided to go through his stuff.
ooh,
And when I went through his stuff, honey boo boo, let me tell you, it was pictures of him and all four of the kids and her, all of them dressed alike in the photo. Y'all just took
come on, Simone.
okay.
You better say
And
that.
so at the end of the day, but mind you, I've been with this dude 3 whole years.
Woo,
Never once.
oh,
Now, mind you, he always with me. So in
Mhm.
3 whole years, you know what I'm saying? Like, when did you where okay. So when I found the photo, I didn't say anything to him. I
okay.
prayed about it one night and I said, God, I need you to reveal it all. In my dream, the same night, he showed me the front door, him walking out the door with the girl and what she had on, and the numbers of her apartment on front of the door.
Mm,
I
mm,
got in
mm,
my car and all I did was just drive. I drove right to the front door and he walking out the door with her.
mm,
Oh,
mm,
And
mm.
so if you really want to know, God will
if you
reveal it.
want
God
to,
will
He ain't
reveal
gonna
it. That's
he
right.
will never leave you stupid.
Mhm.
be
He
That's
careful
will
right.
never
when you
leave you
ask him
stupid.
to. He will do
Yes,
it.
he
He
will.
will do it. He
He
ain't gonna
will
never leave
do
you
it.
stupid. And at the
Mhm.
end of the day, when I pulled up, he was caught, he was like a deer caught a head dog.
Mhm.
And she is like, who is this? I said,
Busted,
well, like who you?
Mm,
busted.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? She looking at me, well, who is this? I'm same thing. Let's ask each other who we are.
That's right.
Right.
Let's ask
Let's
him.
give
You
some
know,
introductions, shall we?
right. So my
Mm,
thing, I pointed at him. Let's ask him, he know.
that's right.
Ask him.
And he just stood
Ooh,
there and couldn't say nothing. I said, well, hi. My name is such and such.
come on, oh no.
He has been at my house for
Hello.
the last 3 years.
Mm,
How are you? I understand that you got a family by him though. Are all of the kids his? And
mm,
she said, no, just my youngest one is his. Oh, okay, so he playing daddy to the rest of them. All right.
mm, mm,
So you
mm.
know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna pack all your stuff and I'm gonna bring it back right here.
Mhm.
What you
That's
got?
right. That's
Wow.
right.
And
And
she
what
had
happens in those cases, we end up getting mad at the woman. Why
I
would
Right.
didn't
There's no need for
a
that.
mature woman?
know because
Well, not, girl,
why
you
get
didn't
mad
know.
at
I didn't know. We in
her?
the same boat, boo boo.
Right, we in the same boat. I ain't know about you. You didn't know about
Know
me.
about me, and she don't have no obligations to you.
Hello.
Right.
He do. He's
Why
the
do
one
we
laying
do that
down
all
with
the
you every
time?
day.
We
So
want to
why
cuss
get
out the
mad
woman,
at her?
pull her bundles off, drag her up and down the freeway, and
Right.
me and
And
Tyrone be
there's
over
no
there just
need for
laughing.
that. There's no need for that.
None.
The only time I'm gonna have something to say to the chick is if you knew me.
If
Exactly.
you knew,
Now, if you knew me and you
if
still
you
cross that
knew and
boundary,
stayed,
then yes,
that's a different
yes, you
conversation.
can trust and believe it's gonna be me and you. But if
Yeah.
you didn't know me, I don't care.
And that's how most guys play it.
Mm-hmm.
They play it to where, well, hopefully y'all won't ever cross paths.
Yep.
Right.
But if the lady say, Lord, show me, and he does it, you Tyrone, don't deal with a woman that got a relationship with the Lord like
That part.
Exactly.
what's
That
wrong with you,
part.
Tyrone? You ain't even gotta open your mouth. The Holy Spirit, the
He's gonna
Lord,
Reveals it
and
all,
an
honey.
occasional disciple might send
That's
an
right.
email and say, girl, here go the address. In your
That's
dream.
Look, his grandmother told him, said, what did I tell you about dealing with a praying woman?
See?
What did
better
I
What's
tell
learn
you
wrong
about
with
today.
that?
you?
And so it's at the end of the day, like, no, babe, I'm not gonna
Don't
be
do
left
it.
stupid.
Don't
That's
do
right.
I'm
it.
not gonna be sitting up here crying my eyes out, and no,
That's right.
no,
And
babe,
what's
no.
funny to me is in my situation that I've had, I don't have to yell at you. I don't bust windows out no car.
Come on here.
Not at all.
Not at all, boo boo.
Mm.
Here go
There's
your
no need.
stuff. You can exit.
Exactly.
And I thank the Lord for revealing it. And I wish y'all too well.
That's it.
And look, I'm
I wish
one.
y'all well.
I'll exit. Okay. I don't even have a
Y'all can have it.
problem with taking all my stuff
I'm good.
while you right there.
Now, the
And me
only
out.
time I got an issue with what Quint just said is if the place is mine, you getting
Oh,
out.
if it's mine, it's different.
If it's
Listen.
mine, you
If it's
getting out.
mine,
If
you
it
got to
ain't,
go.
then I have no issue.
And
But
that
if it
tends to
belongs
be
to
the way it
one,
go. In most cases that I know of, it's
right,
hers.
right.
Right.
It's hers.
Most
So
of the time.
he gotta pack his little lunch bag and just get to stepping.
Right.
Look, y'all, I want to thank y'all for coming up and chilling with us on tonight. I said I'm going to keep y'all for an hour. We're a little bit over the hour, but next
Frederick, you so
week,
late, sir.
right, Frederick. Next
I'll leave
week,
my CEO alone.
next week, chapter 4 is back on the potter's wheel. Chapter
All
4,
right,
guys.
let's
Those of
go.
you that want to read along with us, the book is
We love
called
you,
The Art
Simone.
of Forgiveness, and it's by Aquintas Jones,
The
AQU.
Quintus Joe.
NTAS. Those of you that are on Facebook, y'all follow me on Facebook, Instagram. It's My Life Has Destiny. Follow Trailblazers Radio. Follow Critical Conversations. Follow Curvy Royal. Look, our CEO has a show at 8 o'clock. He is talking about he got some concerns, and it's going to be awesome. So those of you that can, please, please, please listen in at 8 o'clock. He's gonna be up here, but I want to leave you with Ephesians 6:10-18. It says, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood,
Yes,
but
ma'am.
against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of
Yes.
this world, against spiritual wickedness in high
My
places.
place.
Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of
Yes.
God, that ye
The
may
whole
be
thing.
able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness,
Yes.
and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all,
Here.
taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked.
Yes.
And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints.
Amen.
So I thank y'all once again for hanging out with us. I'm going to see if LHG got any last words for the people.
Well, this was a very good show. If you
Praise
want a
God.
copy of the book, go ahead and get your copy because I'm sure you may need to know a few things about forgiveness. I know I do. I want to be a better person and I want to make it to the gate. Ain't nobody
Yes.
coming between me and the pearly gate. Not you. Not nobody. Not nobody.
Coco?
Yeah. I'm gonna leave a few things with you. First of all, I gotta ask you, what door have you opened?
Oh, Jesus.
And I ask you that because when she's talking about forgiveness and unforgiveness, you have opened the door for it.
Ooh-wee.
And sometimes you need to close the door and throw away the key.
Close it.
Because as long as you
Mm.
choose to stay in a place of unforgiveness, you'll never move forward.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
And
right.
forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for you.
It's for you.
It's for you to
That's
become a
right.
better you
My
at the end of
Lord.
the day. Because let me tell you, unforgiveness can kill.
My God.
Okay.
Yeah.
And not only will it kill you spiritually, but sometimes it could also cause you to kill naturally.
My God.
So I'm telling
That's
you,
right.
unforgiveness can kill.
Help us,
And
Lord.
at the end of the day, you don't need that on your conscience. So
No, not
I
at
tell
all.
you that you learn how to forgive people, learn how to love yourself, learn how to become a
Mhm.
better you. And if you want to see
Yes,
change, you got to start with you first.
that's
All
right.
right.
All right, guys. Well, I just want to say, listen, if you're going through anything, if you're in a toxic relationship, get a plan, get out. If you need help, let us know. We are willing to assist you. If
Yes.
you need someone to talk to, we have some coaches here. I am a coach. Coco is a coach. LHG is a coach in
Don't even
her own
don't don't call me.
own right. She might try to act like she's
Woo!
not, but
Them. Them.
look, on tomorrow night, we
Ooh.
will be on our podcast at 8 o'clock. That is going to be aired on YouTube, on Facebook. I might come up here, but once again, you all won't be able to hear everything. I mean, see everything, but you will hear everything unless you follow me on Facebook, and then you'll be able to hear it. We will have Q&A on tomorrow night, so if you all
Ooh.
have questions, you can come with
Okay,
your
so what?
questions.
Okay, so
Hmm?
wait a minute. Why you telling them the same thing? Gonna be able to see and hear nothing. What you talking about?
Huh? What happened?
Why you telling the Saints they ain't gonna be able to see and hear nothing? What is happening?
I'm talking to my TikTok
Her
people.
other platform.
Oh, okay, okay,
Her other platforms.
Other
Now there
okay,
we
platforms.
go.
okay.
So, those of you that want to join us on for Q&A night, please do, please do, please do. You can follow me at
Fasten your
Quint.
seatbelt.
Yes, fasten your seatbelt. Quint Jones is
Drink plenty
on
of
Twitter.
water.
Bring your popcorn. But
Woo!
once again, thank you all for hanging out with us. And we will see you tomorrow. Have a good
Night,
night.
everybody.
Stay up, ladies.
You should have